are back. The time is now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV live from the studios here. Welcome. It is a Monday morning in the U.S., early afternoon in the U.K. in Newcastle upon Tyne. I see 17 degrees. Is that cold? Is that hot? What is that in Celsius? Well, Fahrenheit, that would be 62. Actually, that's a bit chilly, I guess you would say. Not really that cold though, but it's normal, I guess you would say, over there in Newcastle upon Tyne. It seems a bit. Today's gonna be rainy over there. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Today's gonna be a bit naughty. So stay tuned nonetheless. Don't forget to hit the like button, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We got new stuff coming for you, so stay tuned. We're going to talk about the weekend, what's happened throughout the weekend, and, of course, a lot of things going on in the football world, especially with Newcastle United. So don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get going, ladies and gents. All right. Well, England played over the weekend, not to, be a bet weather, because I don't, I want England to do well. Why not? But I'm not going to lose sleep over it, obviously. But, man, you guys struggle to beat Andorra. What the heck is going on? Anyways, welcome to the Mighty Win. Trying to argue because the sun is out today for no damn reason before the show starts. But regardless, England playing Andorra over the weekend. Are you concerned? 3 Geordies played, of course. 3 Geordies were called up. 3 Geordies played, so that's good. Eventually, but they played. I mean, we can't ask all of them to start if they're not good enough to start. So, and I was really impressed with Dan Burns' appearance over the weekend. He did really well, and I think that he is one of Newcastle United's best center halves right now. So I wouldn't disagree on that. I want to see Malik Chiao, but I think that the fact that he was doing really good today for England, not today, but over the weekend with Mark Gihey. And Tuchel seems to be giving him a lot of responsibilities. Therefore, you think that he might make it to the World Cup at some point in time. And if that's the case, that would be massive. When's the last time a Geordie was in the World Cup? That takes a bit of thinking. Since Alan Shearer, I don't know.
That era, Shearer, Howie.
Yeah, so I don't know. But either way.
Then you've got, you're saying Geordie because Jordan Henderson's a Geordie. He's been to plenty, but not a mag.
Not a mag. Is he born in Newcastle?
Whitley Bay.
Okay, then. Well, but he's still a mag in my heart, so that's all we can count at the moment. And it is what it is. I wonder if it was a Newcastle fan, though. I mean, you never know. I wonder if he was a Newcastle fan. Have we ever digged into that?
Almost certainly was. But he would never admit it.
Well, why wouldn't he? A proper man with personality would admit to what he thinks is right. He played for Sunderland. He's gone.
To be fair, personality wasn't Jordan Henderson's strong point, was it?
Cup of tea. All right. Well, either way, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. We see Jordy there. We see this chat scrolling through. Cara Murphy there in the building as well. Kinney, all of those. Smash the like button. Choppy, Trolls, everybody out there. Hit the like button, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know if the audio is good. We're trying to sort some things out. So let me know if all of that is working proper. And how's it? What's the weather out there, man? I give people a brief update. 62 Fahrenheit, which is 17 Celsius. But is it a bit sunny? I see a sun in a cloud out there.
No, where I am, it's just cloud. There's no sun peeking through, but it's a warm cloud. It's
yeah.
But suffice to say, I haven't got any lights on, so there's enough sunshine coming through to light my beautiful face up.
That's right. And Jade over there says he is from Sunderland. Anyway, Win is quiet. Says, yeah, we gotta win that, but don't worry, we'll sort it out.
Sunderland. I'm sure he was born in Whitley Bay. Let me just.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I would highly assume that he would be from Sunderland, but you never know with Win, man. He's a Wonga, so he might be making stuff up.
Prove that we're Wangas.
Anyways, folks, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. England, Andorra, mate. So it is what it is. But what's going on with England? The Geordie lads can certainly help the team, but it just feels like Tuchel is just another Southgate man. Actually, I'm going to defend Southgate a little bit because he was annihilated via chats, social media, etc. because he wasn't, he didn't meet the eye. What is the difference with Tuchel? Tuchel can barely beat Andorra, man. What is the difference?
Yeah, well, I was critical of him. I said, what's he doing? Because he did nothing and he was very Southgate-ish. Anybody who was watching that match could see that certain things weren't working. And he just did nothing to rectify them.
Yeah,
it was just poor. We're just doing the same. It was like watching Newcastle around the lower block, just back and forwards across the back. A few little triangles on the right, couple of little triangles on the left. Nothing. Nobody penetrate. I said to Gary, what we needed to do there was utilise our superior technical ability. And if they're blocking, just okay, pass the ball to somebody who's marked and let him use his skill to pass to somebody else. And they just weren't doing it. They were just, circumnavigating the lower block and then sticking a ball in and hoping for the best. It was rubbish. Utter rubbish.
Well, it's either people overreact or people are saying it is what it is. Because I could agree with the point that some people say if we beat Andorra at 7-0, people would say, well, what's the point of that? Because they're rubbish. So I think people will find a way to not be happy either way. So could you argue the point is with the lineup as well? Could you argue that Gordon should start it? Not really, because hasn't done anything.
Really.
Could you argue? You could argue Livramento could start over Reece, though.
Absolutely, Livramento, because he did make a difference when he came on. He was better. And I think the sooner we get Livramento tied up, the better, to a new contract.
Well, that's something that we are going to have to talk about. Don't forget, you can call in via Mux, via the chat. The link is out there for all of you to join. No camera needed. You can just call in and have your say briefly about the current situation that we're talking about. So in this case right now, England, and we will see what happens with England. Going to play tomorrow against, who is it? Czech? The Republic of Czech or
Slovakia, I think.
No, I don't think Slovakia. Maybe Slovenia. And that isn't that what's his name's squad? Šeško. Let's see here.
Šeško is Serbia, isn't he? I think.
Oh, Serbia. Okay, gotcha. Either way, we're gonna have England, of course, tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one. And we should have done the Valdemare live match, but we were just all over the place, so we couldn't do that. But a lot of people blaming Valdemare on criticizing Valdemare really, really bad. And or being really critical of Valdemare, and I don't understand why. Why? I mean, the fans are really on social media, especially coming at Valdemare. We shouldn't have bought him. I knew this was going to happen. We bought our 8th choice. That's what happens when you buy our 8th choice. And but I think that it should. What is going on?
By the way.
Well, you haven't gone anywhere, man. You only go to the pub and them old geezers. And you think that represents the fan base. But what do you think about the criticism that Valdemar is getting?
Well, he didn't have a brilliant game, but he wasn't involved. So could you argue that he should have got himself more involved? Maybe. But as I said at the time, when he had 5 meaningful, actions in the game, and he did 4 of them well and 1 of them not so well. So if you can average that every time he's got the ball, I'll be happy with that. Now, the fact that he wasn't getting the ball, that was down to Germany. It was down to the supply line.
Yeah.
As you used to always, when me and you were arguing about Isak and me saying how ineffective he is, you used to always say it's not his fault if he can't get the ball.
True. Well,
And
I say the same
I
thing.
used to say he should go and get the ball more if he's not getting the ball.
Yeah, but I mean,
So that same criticism could be pointed on Voldemort. But let's see when when he gets a decent supply.
I don't think he deserves criticism. The guy hasn't even played a game for Newcastle, and I don't think that's a good view. I mean, but exactly like Kenny saying in the
always
chat.
be people who want to whinge, man. That
Yeah,
goes with the territory.
But it's good what Kenny is saying that Volde had an assist. Yeah, and that's a good thing. He had a good assist, and that also is part of his game. That's part of his game, assisting, creating, and I don't see an issue. It is what it is. Sometimes national teams don't perform good, but it is what it is. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Eddie Howe plays them together.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
And if they get played together though, because if they do, then you don't really have a backup on the bench, or you do with Asula. But then you would say you could always revert to the typical 4-3-3, and go about it that way. Now, Bayern's Yuli, how do you say his name? Honeb or something like that. Honeb. I don't know who this guy is, to be honest, but he's been talking about Voldemort and Honene
Honene.
Well, it says B, so I don't know.
That's because you're looking at the German double, the B sign, which
so
is the double S.
So Hunes says on Voldemort joining Newcastle, he says Voldemort isn't worth the 90 million euro fee. That only happened because of the money flowing from Saudi Arabia, he told Sport 1 Dopa. So I think it is very ignorant of him to say that.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have knowledge on what's going on. He's been going to the German pubs like you. Kind of looks like you, by the way. And not paying attention to shite going around him. Because, I mean, it's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. I mean, Newcastle United haven't been able to spend for 3 windows, damn near. And I think it was 3 windows, and this was the 4th.
It's like we've said all along. A player is worth what someone is prepared to pay for it. So what Hoeneß thinks he's worth and what he's actually worth is 2 different things. Anything in life is worth what somebody else is prepared to pay for it. And we were prepared to pay 90 million euros. There you go. That's what he's worth. Or was it 80 million euros? I can't remember now.
Well, whatever it was.
70 million quid, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was it 90?
I think that's the going price for
it is.
center forwards anyway. I mean, you can't tell me that Šeško is worth more money than Waldemar. There's no reason for people to say that. There's no reason. There's no base to even start that conversation that Šeško should be worth more than Waldemar. Or you can argue Ekitike, but how many goals did Ekitike really score? I think Ekitike looks really good on the eye. He's he's more flashy, I guess you can say. He looks like he can hit the ground running. But looks are looks. So I don't understand why there's no criticism going towards those signings. Especially when, for example, Liverpool has spent how much money? I mean, who's talking about Saudi money then? So it's pure ignorance. But this is what you're going to get nowadays, Anytime Newcastle gets closer and closer and closer or does something relevant, that's what you're going to get. People talking about Saudi money and Saudi destroying football, etc.
I'll send you that.
But what do you think about, what it's another hurdle that people can't that we're gonna have to still
There's
overcome.
always going to be people saying that we're only spending what we're spending because of the Saudi money. Well, first of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The owners have got money. Why shouldn't owners spend what they want on a business? But by the by, we have done everything by the book. We haven't sold women's team to ourselves. We haven't sold property to ourselves. We haven't, used every little loophole that other clubs have used. We have been true to the spirit of PSR as it currently stands. So anybody coming along and saying, Saudi money will ruin football and all this nonsense is talking through the you-know-what. I mean, if you look at net spend this summer, we are below Everton, Sunderland, and the big six, apart from Chelsea, who despite spending the most money, second to Liverpool, most money, but they've recouped 332 million.
It could. I don't know if Sunderland spending over more than us is actually something that I don't think that's a good thing.
What I'm saying is Saudi money hasn't come in and enabled us to do all this.
I agree with that part. Exactly. I agree with that part. Yeah, I mean, just out of pure ignorance, this guy, and it is what it is. But most importantly, if fans have an issue with Valdemar and the German, I also understand the expectation, though. People want to watch him play and hit the ground running, especially after what happened with Isak. We kind of want the medicine very quickly. We want to see what he can do. But I wonder if we're going to have to be really patient. And the problem is when you're left...
Valdemar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying I don't know. Well, you're the one that says that the Premier League you take 20 years to adapt to it, so you can't go back on your word.
All I say is that the Premier League's up, but the Bundesliga for me is the second hardest league.
Oh, here we go.
In terms of the number of teams you've got who are not crap.
Yeah, how they play them together. If they play them together, I don't think they're going to play with each other though. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be either
There's a lot of talk about going 4-4-1-1.
I just don't see it.
Which could work.
Of course it could work, but I just do not see Eddie Howe changing his tactics in his formation. Unless he absolutely feels like he has to, due to injury
what will
or
make
suspension.
him feel that he has to? It's going to be results, isn't it? So if he sticks to his 4-3-3
really.
and gets results, there's no reason to change.
Well, when we had our injury season, it was always 4-3-3 no matter what, and that right there tells you.
But again, that was because he had no alternatives.
No, you would actually assume, yeah, you have alternatives. When you don't have players available, you can switch and just figure out a way. But he was very reluctant to move his 4-3-3. So even when he didn't have players sometimes to do it. So I don't know. It's rarely seen.
Multiple reasons for that, though. As I say, if all of your training and all of the mentality of the squad has been moulded around a 4-3-3, then even more so when you've got a load of alternatives coming in, you don't want them to have to be coming in and have to learn a new system. They just do what they've been doing, and it proved perfectly fine doing just that. Okay, we missed out on Europe because Man United beat City, but it wasn't a bad season, all things considered.
Yep. All right. So we got a new CEO. He's in an interview. Let's take a listen to new CEO now, David Hopkinson. Let's take a listen to his interview.
Fans are the lifeblood, the body of this club and what it means. They're the magic.
How does it feel to be here?
Really gratifying. This has been a journey getting here, and I mean that. And that was a long process, a selection process. I've been thinking about coming to Newcastle for a very, very long time. It's also gratifying because I've spent my entire career trying to take on a role just like this. I'm going to do my best to represent this club and ultimately this community on every stage I possibly can. Fans.
Oh, look at that. Well, certainly saying the right words nonetheless about community and identity and all of that. So he will get the Geordies like yourself that want to hear that stuff. Ultimately, it's going to have to be about
You
actions.
don't want to hear it?
I want him to do the job because I heard the same about Darren Neals, and that's all well and done. But we have to we have to have a show on Darren Neals because I understand that based on how he's leaving, people want to have everything he's done is amazing. But we need to have a conversation on him. And I've met Darren Neals multiple times. I think he's a good lad. But we got to judge what he did as a CEO thoroughly. And I like what he's saying. Of course I like what Dave Hopkinson is saying 100%, but I want him to do what he's saying. And I want him to make Newcastle United global, and I want him to make Newcastle United bigger. That's his job. So lovely to get these interviews, all of that, but I will hold on to the parading and the partying until I see something, see us moving to the right direction. So sorry to pop your balloons, Mighty Wind, but it just unfortunately for me, it's going to have to take time. But he's on now, so you expect things to happen. We don't know anything about the stadium just yet. That's something that to me is in the back of my mind almost on a daily basis. Something has stopped it. I'm not sure what, but something has, because it's always about the stadium, and then it died down, especially when the window came up. And so not much from that situation. And I would like to have some clarity. Jordy Dan in the chat says Hopkinson needs to get this new stadium announced. Then he will get some goodwill in the bank. Exactly my point. He needs to get to work.
I don't think that the stadium should be his number one concern. His number one concern should be increasing revenue. Because increasing revenue then allows us to compete better on the pitch. And that ultimately is his job. The only way you're going to expand the global fan base is by being successful on the pitch. And he said as much himself in one of his articles, one of the interviews that he did, that he needs to make sure that we've got the personnel on the pitch to deliver results. And that is how you grow the globe. The reason Man City are super popular now globally, and Chelsea are super popular now globally, and Liverpool, of course, Man U, is because they have had relentless success on the pitch. And if you haven't got that, there's no way you can grow the fan base globally. It can only be done with winning football matches. That's where I'm at. And right now, I don't think if we've got a super duper new stadium, which of course I want, you're going to be able to generate some income from utilising the facility for other events outside football, but the main thing is success on the pitch, and we're perfectly capable of delivering success on the pitch where we are right now. And in any event,
we don't need a CEO then.
And in any event, we do need a CEO. We need a CEO.
No, because that's up to Eddie Howe to win games. So he got the squad now.
Yeah, but
he's
he's
spent
got
$200 million. So there you go.
He's got to have the but he spent 200 million, but so has everybody else. So we'll have.
So what does that mean? So he doesn't. So we don't have a good squad then.
I think we've got a good squad. I think we've got an excellent.
So what are you
squad.
talking about? We got a good squad. We should win games. Plain and simple.
Well, essentially, the reason we lost Isak, didn't care what anybody says, is because 12 months ago, Mitchell told Isak he wasn't getting a new contract. Now, you've got 4 years left on your contract. We can't afford to give you a new one now. And the reason we couldn't afford it was because of PSR. And the reason PSR was preventing us giving Isak a new contract was because we didn't have the revenue coming in to pay for the salary.
We didn't pay Isak because what's his name didn't want to give it to him. It's plain and simple. He didn't think he was a priority because he had a long contract, so it backfired on him. He left, and we were left with the shite. Plain and simple, man. Don't sugarcoat it. The fact that Newcastle United bought all these players without the Isak money tells you that we did have money, and
eventually we had money.
We just did.
We didn't have it 12 months ago.
Why?
Why?
What's changed?
The very fact that we had to sell Anderson and Minty to balance the books proved we didn't have it then.
Well, I gotta see when that actually happened. But
it happened after the 1st of July when the new financial year kicked in.
Yeah. I don't think that. Well, I don't think that you're speculating. So am I. I don't think that Isak left because Isak wanted to leave because he wanted to leave. There was no money in the world. Now we offered him money. He didn't want to stay. So it wasn't about money. It wasn't about money. He wanted to leave because he thought he was going to win in Liverpool. Fair enough. But it's nothing to do with Newcastle United. Nothing.
It was also to do with the fact that he was pissed off that he was promised a new contract and didn't get one.
Okay. Well, if that was the issue, he would have gotten a new contract and be happy. But he didn't. He was multiple. He rejected Newcastle 3 or 4 times, man. So it even rejected the owners going to his house. Clearly, he didn't want to. If it's about money, you don't just say no and leave.
No, because
he wanted to leave,
as he said in his tweet thing, that the trust had gone.
You still believe everything that twat said, man? Oh my God, trust had gone. Okay, man. Yeah, that's how it works. All right. Well, either way, it is what it is. He's gone.
Indeed.
By the way, people that believe that Amanda Staveley is taking over Spurs, well, that's been quickly debunked because simply they don't want to sell. And former Newcastle United co-owner Amanda Staveley is expected to confirm she has no plans to launch a formal bid for Tottenham, as it has been claimed. But there was another report saying that she already did approach Spurs about it, and she was swiftly denied. So Ben Jacobs saying that Tottenham say majority shareholder ENIC rejected 2 expressions of interest to buy its stake. One was from Amanda Staveley, PCP International, and the other was from a consortium led by Dr. Roger Kennedy and Wingfi NG, Firehawk Holding Limited. So it's unfortunate. Some Newcastle fans are going to be, their hearts broken to find this out, but it is what it is. She wasn't successful though, so I guess you can still forgive her.
Why would Newcastle?
But I keep telling fans, because they were, they got Amanda tattooed and you wanted a statue of her on the stadium and all that crap. This is business. It was business for her. It's never not been about business. Of course, she came over and she liked the Toon fans, Toon Army, blah, blah, blah. But, it's always about business. And she left about business. She was actually kicked out. But it's always been business. So I always tell people, you get players tattooed, even if that, by the way, in today's day and age. Imagine if you get Isak tattooed, for fuck's sake. That would have been a disaster. You got to wait for players to play a long time. I guess my advice would be, and become proper legends. But executives and all that, man, they just come and go. It's all about business. You think that Hopkinson woke up and thought, man, can't wait to go to Newcastle? No, it's all about money, being CEO for the first time, and I hope he does well. And ultimately, you got to judge them on their job, and I think that Amanda Staveley did a great job. And quite honestly, earlier in the window, I thought, man, we should go get her. You should go get her back so she can steady the ship.
Damn right.
But never to say, that we need to have a bust over or a stand like Mighty Win try to joke about. Not joking earlier on. He was upset though. Mighty Win wrote a letter and everything. Thank you, Mandy. And blah, blah, blah. My God, man, it was so cringe.
I didn't. I read
it was
the
so
letter
cringe,
that,
man.
I read the letter that
We are knackered.
But I knew you missed a
I remember him telling me this. No, let me look. I remember him telling me this. You got to read this letter because I can't, man. I'm not gonna be able to hold it together. Fucking hell, man. Get a life, man. All right, read your comment.
It's Bat Red, who's one of our Liverpool interlocutors, I think. Also, it could have been that Isak getting his contract doubled, for example. Others in the team would expect it too, like Bruno Tonali, etc. Adjusting wage structure is a complicated conundrum. So, what he's saying, quite rightly too, is that if we'd suddenly given Isak 300,000 a week or 250,000 a week, doubled his contract, then the rest would have been saying, "Whoa, hey, what about me?" Now, as I said to you at the time when we had this discussion, what you do is you say to anybody who's not happy with what they're getting, you say, right, well, you get somebody to come and bid 130 million for you, and we'll talk about it. And once there's somebody prepared to pay 130 million pounds for you, we'll talk about putting you on the same money that Isak's on. Until then, go push your barrack. Now, I think that situation probably does exist now with Tonali. I'm pretty sure there'd be a few clubs prepared to break 100 million for Tonali.
Yeah, we got to get those.
But I think I still think Tonali owes us
that's rubbish, man.
for sticking by him when he got his ban.
And then he played a season. There's no owing anything, man. He's done. That stuff is done and over, and nobody really thinks about that stuff anymore.
There should be some loyalty there.
Are you gonna go on promises as well? Oh, hey, man, get a life, man. Come on, man. Stop living on promises. It's the real world, man.
I've got a life, Chris. I've got a very nice life.
No. You keep living on dreamland, where everything is promises. He owes us. He owes us nothing, man. He owes us nothing. He did a cuck up. He had to do his sentence. The club backed him because they have no choice but to back him. And after that, he came back. He was our best player. Done and dusted. There's no reason to keep going back, man. He's the best player for Newcastle United right now. He needs to get a better contract. 100, whatever he's on, I don't know. He must be on 120 or so. 120, but he should be 250 at least. And that he should be made happy. Once that happens,
and we can't give all the 250 worth players 250 unless we've got revenue coming in.
You got a ceiling. Your best player is worth 250. Plain and simple. What is Bruno on? Around 250? 180. Okay, perfect. The best player is on 250. That's the top the Newcastle United are going to play. Best players on 250. Everybody else below that. Whether you like it or not, everybody else below that. And if your best player is on 250, that means everybody else has to get paid less. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Livermento's not worth 250. Who else is worth 250?
Well,
who else in this squad is worth 250?
What do you think Livermento is worth? What do you think Man City would pay Livermento?
It's not worth 250, man.
What do you think Man City would pay Livermento?
Whatever they want. If that's what he wants, then he needs to put in a transfer request and leave. Plain and simple. But you go in there and say, Bunny lad, I don't know what his money's worth. I don't know what he's getting paid. No. The club determines what they get paid.
Selling our best players to the top six.
Well, we've already determined.
That mold has to be broken. And the only way it can be broken
that's out the window.
by
that is out the
us
window.
revenue to pay what we need to pay to compete with the top 6.
That is out the window. We sold our best player already. Or not our best player, but our best striker already. We had no backbone. We sold him. That's the business we're in now. We if a player wants to leave now, that's what we got to do. We sell him. They just got to say, I want to leave, or else I'm not going to train. I'm not going to go to Japan. I'm not going to go. But now you got to sell him. Now, as soon as they say that, you got to put them on the selling block and sell them. Plain and simple. The club determines how much money they get paid. It's simple, man. We can't spend more because we don't have the money. So Tonali is our best player. He needs to get paid more. And Livramento is not worth 250. Man, come on, man. What? He's playing great. That doesn't mean that he is all of a sudden he needs to have all the money in the world. He hasn't even had one great season yet.
But Tonali is.
Yeah, because Tonali is actually proving it.
For one great season.
And continues to have it. Livramento is just starting to wake up. Because for the longest time, it was Lewis Hall, much better than him, and I think it still is.
You think Lewis Hall is better than Livramento?
Yes, better than Livramento. Yes.
No, definitely not.
Well, we're watching two different things then. So that's fine.
I mean, well, look, we've got two, but they're both fantastic. But for me,
Lewis Hall is better than
Livramento
Livramento.
has gone up a level in the last sort of 10, 12 performances, especially playing on the left. I mean, the way he brings that ball through now from the back, it's just his final delivery, final decision is needs improving. But the number of times now he's carried that ball through, and bringing it into the centre of field as well as all the wonderful overlaps that he's doing. I think Livramento is worth every penny.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. All that stuff is cute. But Tonali is much more important.
What do you mean it's cute?
It's cute.
It's correct. It's factually correct.
Yeah. All of that stuff is great, wonderful. But Tonali is a much more important player than Livramento is. So he needs to be paid more. They don't deserve to get paid the same. They don't. Or do you think that Livramento and Tonali need to be paid the same?
No, I think right now.
Okay, then. So let's cut the crap, man. Marginally better.
Yeah.
Wayne, come on, man. It's crazy to have these conversations, man. It's crazy. Without Tonali, we don't exist. Plain and simple.
You just have so you've got so
many.
No.
Without Tonali, we don't exist.
When discussing certain players.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm actually objective.
Right now, the flavour of the month is Tonali for you.
No. It's always been Tonali.
Nobody else is any good apart from Tonali.
But that's the problem with you. You don't stay consistent. You flip-flop like a pancake every day. I don't. I'm very consistent
because
and very critical and very objective. Tonali is the best player of Newcastle United. He deserves to be paid more. Without him, we are not a good team. Plain and simple. He is durable. He never misses a game. He plays injured when he can. He is the heartbeat of this team. He needs to be paid more than others. Without Livramento, we're going to be all right. Yeah. I'm not saying that
without
he can
Tonali will be all right. Will not be.
No,
as
I don't
good,
think so. I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Lewis Hall, to me, is better than Livramento, and it's unfortunate because you happen to break your ankle and people forget. That's. Now I'm leaning towards the players now wanting to go on strike because can you believe that I'm the best left back this team has seen in a long time. I break my ankle and now the other guy's better than me just because I couldn't play. It's absolutely rubbish, man. I agree that Livramento should be playing over Trippier. No doubt about it. Trippier is already on the way out. And I think that Livramento is a good right back. Or left back, if you will, but he's more of a right back, and he should be playing for the England national team. But getting paid the same as Tonali. No. By no means, man. So you're telling me if we as a club were able to spend...
Is that historically, anyway, fullbacks don't get paid as much as midfielders, and midfielders don't get paid as much as strikers. So that's just the way of the world. That's just fact.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some midfielders do get paid a lot of money. It's the same as a striker. But if you've got you go talk to Modric
anywhere on the pitch, you need to hang on to it.
You go talk to Modric, Casemiro in his good day, Cruz. You go talk to those guys and see if they didn't get paid enough as a striker. They get paid a lot of money, brother. Midfielders get paid a lot of money, and they control the game, man.
But
what about Zinedine Zidane? How much Zinedine Zidane? Okay. No big deal there. But either way, Tonali needs to be the best paid player. Plain and
All in
simple.
500 grand a
didn't
week.
it? Yeah,
Kane,
that's-
500 grand a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no midfielders on that.
Kane is not on 500K a week, man. Get it.
He is.
Wake up, man. Fuck you
Kane is on 500
Bulky.
a week.
Okay, check it out. Check it out. When who would you rather was out for 5 games, Tino or Tonali? By the way, pray this doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's plain. It's plain. This is plain.
obviously Tonali. I'm not disputing the Tonali.
So if you say obviously, then he shouldn't be paid the same as Tonali. Some people and players have to understand this. You're not as good as the other men. Some people get paid more than others. Why does there have to be, if we pay this guy this amount, the other one's going to be upset?
Because
what kind of world is this? It's nonsense,
not the point,
man.
No, the fact is, if we don't pay him somebody else will. And that's another one of what top players that
First
we're
of all, City weren't even going to go nowhere near 100 million for Livramento. You're talking about they want him so bad. They didn't even they weren't even going to go nowhere near 100 million. You think they're going to give him 300K a week? You're delusional, man. Come on. Nowhere. They're not going to pay. There's no way that Man City are going to pay Livramento that amount of money. Look at Man City's wage structure.
Nobody said 300 grand a week.
Okay then. So what do you or
Nobody
even
said
250
300 grand a week for Tonali either.
or even 250. You know what? It's again, you like losing, man. And I bring these polls up because I want you to snap back into reality, man. Because you're living in dreamland. So who deserves 250 per week? Tino,
that's not
or
the question.
Tonali?
The question should be
So,
who
what is the question?
deserves more than 170 grand a week.
Who's on 170K a week?
Bruno top earner now on 170.
Why are you switching the question? You were talking. You were just saying about Livramento and talking about Livramento, how he needs to be paid marginally less than Tonali. Marginally, as if they hold the same importance.
Yeah, you know, let's say Tonali do it for a full season again.
It's you have no shame, man. It's crazy to me how you can just blatantly tell these. You just don't want to be wrong, and that's fine. I get that actually.
That's
You don't
only
wanna be wrong.
that's only one of us
Right.
who doesn't want to be wrong.
Okay, well there you go. Well let's see what the people have to say. Who deserves 250 per week? Tonali or Livramento? Who deserves? And by that means
what
who
sort of
deserves to
question
be?
is that? What is that going to prove?
It's going to prove that you're absolutely wrong to even put Tino in the category of Tonali. You said, and I'm being nice to you.
I've said
you
consistently since we started this discussion.
No, you
that
no, you
Tonali
haven't.
Is
You
better
said
than Tino.
so. That
and more
means he needs to be
important
paid.
the team than Tino.
So exactly. So that means he needs to be paid more, the highest pay earner, in my opinion, because in Newcastle United. So if Tonali gets 250, how much should Tino be on?
I think I'd probably have Tino on 200.
Fucking hell, more than Bruno. Are you
and
fucking
Lewis
mad,
Hall,
man?
by the way.
More than Bruno. Look, don't do this to yourself, man. Don't do this to yourself, man. People, go easy on it.
Who is saying that
Hey,
I only think Bruno's worth 170?
Proper Toon fans, just ignore that. Please don't do nothing to him, man. Don't do nothing to him. He's just saying it for the controversy. So please, he doesn't really believe this. He doesn't really believe. Please don't come at him. I'm trying to save you, man, some embarrassment. Because it's just on another level, man. I'm telling you. It's on another level. It was smile. Common sense in the UK is out the window on all things on the spectrum.
Kyle Walker.
Utter nonsense.
Kyle Walker, arguably the best Prem fullback for a while. When he finished his 6-year contract, he was on 175k a week. That ended in 2024. So
what was Walker on?
175.
And you want to give Tino 200.
And he'd been on that. He'd been on that for 5 years.
Yeah, and you think that teams in the world are going to pay Tino $200K a week?
Well, Man City certainly would.
Why? They pay their best right back, probably one of the greatest in modern era.
That was then, man.
107.
That was then.
Then what?
Finished that contract finished in 2024. Have you
Yeah,
heard
that
of
was last
inflation?
season. Yeah, that was last season. The inflation ain't that much from last season to now.
And but he'd been on it for 4 years.
Why didn't he get a better contract? Why couldn't he get a better
Because
contract?
175K a week in 2020 was the top dollar. 5 years ago, that was top dollar. Now it's not.
Fucking hell, man! It's arguing with a fucking wall, man. I'm telling you, man, that's insane, insane. But poor Remembrance, though.
That's where the money is now.
No. First of all, Newcastle United right now cannot spend like other clubs can.
Correct.
So
yes.
So 200.
We're on the same wavelength.
200. No, we're not. No, we're
and
not. Because 250.
Hopkinson's job is to put us on the same wavelength.
Right. That's fine. But right now, 250 should probably be tops what we pay the player. And that should be Tonali's throne. And Remembrance is nowhere near Tonali.
Again,
nowhere near Tonali.
Again, going back to my preferred model. My preferred model would be
no, please don't do it. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man.
Tonali on 200K a week with a potential for another 100,000 based on results. So if we win something, he gets a £10 million bonus or whatever. And that should apply to them all.
Yeah.
They should be paid on results.
Yeah, and you talk about being realistic.
10 grand a week and 100 grand a point.
Okay. All right, mate. No worries, man. Sometimes you just got to, you know how you talk to crazy people, you say, yeah, no worries. No worries, Win. Got it. And you just keep on strolling. Ignore crazy people. You see them, just ignore. Keep walking down the line. Just get away from them. Get away from them. By the way, remember today, Gary Speed, it would have been his 56th birthday. So shout out to Speedo. Gary Speed passed away. And, of course, would have been his 56th birthday. Would have been a pundit. He was doing already punditry work when he passed. So rest in peace. Talking about...
he was managing Wales when he passed.
He was doing punditry, man.
He was manager of Wales.
He was doing. I know he was doing. I know this story very well. When he was doing punditry, unless he was doing both, but he was definitely doing punditry. I don't know how you manage and do punditry at the same time. Maybe you can if you're an international coach, but he was doing punditry. He actually left the show the night before he passed away. So get your facts straight, man. Go listen before you say something. Just Google it, mate. Just Google, man. He might be a Wales manager. I don't know.
I'm sure he was Wales manager.
Well, I'm sure he was a pundit the night before. So unless he was doing both, maybe he was doing both.
There's nothing stops anybody going and being on a show.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so he was both, says Daryl Mary. According to nobody. England, we were talking about England. We didn't talk about this guy who was probably man of the match, was Anderson. How good is Anderson, and how crazy is this story going to be? It feels like the story has not been written fully yet for Newcastle and Anderson. I think there will be some drama later on in his career.
I agree.
Sooner or later, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, you can, when it comes to persuading players, you could probably say Newcastle could persuade him to come back.
Very easily.
No, but that's not. It's not going to be easy dealing with Forrest. That's the problem. So, and we know that
he signed a 5-year contract, didn't he? So he'll be 28 in 5 years' time, and by then Bruno will be.
They're about the same age, man. Stop talking about age. Please win.
What are you talking about? Same age.
There were 2 years of difference, man.
Just turned 23, Anderson.
Yeah, and Bruno's 25, so it makes no difference. When Bruno's a grandpa, so will Anderson be. It's no difference. Right now, the point is, we could get Anderson for Joe Linton he could be a starter on the left side of the midfield. He can be a great starter with Bruno and with Tonali. Now, some people are not going to like that because they love Joe Linton. But I think that Anderson can be a very good addition to Newcastle. And you can persuade him if you need a midfielder, you know. But if
Bruno
you don't promise him...
Bruno will be 28 in November.
Okay. That's fine.
5 years older than...
Okay, 5 years old. You're right. You're right. You're right. 100%. Either way, I'm talking about getting him not in the future. Future, anything can happen in the future. Luis Miley could be the next Yaya Toure. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. But now, Anderson is really good. So we should definitely keep an eye on him. We have the pull, you can say, that he might want to join us. But I don't know if it's not guaranteed time to play that he will come.
Well, absolutely right.
But he can definitely play for Joe Linton. If we're talking about this 4-3-3 nonsense,
completely different sort of player.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I rather have players to put it on the floor and play. You know, those bodybuilders and wrestlers, they can go to the WWE, man.
But you've got to have the destroyers as well. The team is
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can have them, but you know, if you tell me to pick, I would do Elliot Anderson. Now, it's probably not going to be easy to negotiate with Forrest anyway, so it's probably a dreamland, to be honest. But we don't have any buyback clause, David Cook.
Nope.
Not at all. And so those buyback clauses are dodgy anyway. I don't know about that. I think if the club sells them, that you can have the priority if you want to be involved in getting the player back. But it's not automatically that you say, I want the player now, so he comes back to the team. I don't think it works like that. I think if the selling club wants to sell, then if you want to be in that deal, you can be priority, like Man City was with Burnley. But I don't think that Man City would just say, I want Trafford now, and he comes to me without Burnley wanting to negotiate.
No, Burnley have to want to sell. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
but that's where the agent. That's where the agent comes in.
But we don't. You know, we don't negotiating with Forrest is not going to be. Not going to be
because
easy.
the agent when the sale was agreed, the agent will have to agree to the buyback clause being in the contract, so that when that time arises, if it does, the agent and the player have already agreed to go back to Man City should the circumstances arrive. So it's not something that's got to be renegotiated. They've already signed that agreement.
I don't think we have a buyback clause with Isak. No, I don't think that's. I think that ship has sailed tremendously. Also, former Newcastle United youngster Michael Ndueni has made a move to join Ohio State University to play college soccer out in the USA. Interesting. He spent the 7 years through the Newcastle Academy, made his Premier League debut in against Chelsea in 2023. He was also on the bench against PSG in our Champions League game as well. So he's going to the U.S. to play soccer in college over there. So
how big is that in America now? College soccer.
It's always been important, but see the way things are structured here. College is the academy, basically. So, but so clubs don't really have an academy. They might have a lower league team, like a reserves, that people can play in to get them acclimated and stuff. But we don't really have academies here. The academies are colleges, which are universities. As if you were playing in a university over there. I don't know if you can do it. You can probably. Do you guys play in the university in over there? Football?
Yeah, just recreationally. Nothing.
Yeah, well, no, but over here it would be
nothing like what it is over there.
It would be proper. I mean, professionally done. And if you're good, you get drafted by teams. But by whatever team thinks you're going to be the next star, you get drafted by them. That's probably, hopefully, something we'll do with my kids.
Well, you don't be. You're not drafted by the league itself as opposed to a particular club.
No.
I thought that was the way the draft system worked. That everybody signs for the league, and then the draft system means that whoever finishes bottom gets the best young talent.
No.
I thought that's all object of the draft, isn't it?
No. Nobody belongs to any club. You sign up to want to be drafted, to want to play in the league, but you don't know what club you're going to.
That's right. So you're signing up for the league.
Yeah, but you don't belong to any club. The clubs determine whether you
that's what
are
I'm
good
saying.
or
You
what.
just said that the club go and decide who they want, but that depends on the draft system.
Well, they still decide who they want. If you go first, that means you get to.
Yeah, but the player doesn't get to decide, is what I'm saying. The player has to go wherever the league send him. That's where he has to go.
No, I didn't say the player gets to decide, but he does get to decide whether he goes or not. Nobody's going to force him to play if he doesn't want the team, although the vast majority will just go along with whatever team picks him. It's that's the way it works. So whatever team picks them, that's where they go and see if they like it or not. And it's a whole different situation over here. But draft, you need the window, says Carlos in UFC. Lukashenko just goes to show money is not everything. Well, I mean, listen, we don't know what's going in his head though. We think he's made a bad decision, but who are we to say that? I mean, he might be delighted. It's just is what it is. We can't decide what people are happy with or what not. So he's made his money. He's making his money, and accordingly, he's made the move of the team he likes. So whether he wins, that can be, I guess,
the name. That's what it was.
That can be, I guess, decided when he finishes his career to say, well, that was a wrong decision. But
proper bollock there, didn't I?
But that's really,
But are we particularly sad? I'm not. I would have liked Sesko. Didn't get us wrong. I was all for buying him. But I've been Voldemort for a long time.
Right.
So time will tell whether my trust was warranted or not.
But as we were talking about earlier, though, Mark Douglas saying that Newcastle are in talks with Tino Livramento over a bumper of a new deal. So I think players that need a bigger deal are going to be Tino, are going to be Lewis Hall. Tonali needs to be the best paid player, so he doesn't even think about going anywhere else. And I think that's about it, really.
And come on, folks, smash the likes, please. 350.
Yeah, we only got
80 likes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Anyway, lads, I gotta go to work. But had a good show. Win always tries to argue with me over everything, and but it's too early in the morning for me to put up with this crap, man. It is what it is. But smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe tonight at 9:30 p.m. We got the panel, of course, every night. So stay tuned for that one, late night show. And we shall be back again. So thank you very much. Don't forget to smash the like button and join us tonight, folks. We'll see you later.
Away the lads.
Away the lads. See you later, bud.